Dinner's warming up. As promised, I'm going to revisit the Cru La Maqueline Bordeaux 2019. Very young left bank Bordeaux, but it's southern left bank, so near Margaux. So I thought, and as soon as I read that, I go, I was wrong. It was not a Merlot heavy Bordeaux. But, in fact, even though left bank is typically cab heavy, this is Merlot mostly. I don't know the composition, but Merlot, Petit Verdot, and Cab Sauv. So that's probably why this has got pretty dense color. You know, it's a dark wine. Can't see my fingers through it. Let it decant for the last an hour and a half. It was open yesterday. It should have plenty of oxygen time now. It's definitely showing itself more on the nose today, but still, it's not exploding. I think it's because it is very young. Now, most $20 wines, sub $20 wines, you should be drinking young, and most aren't meant to be aged. So, is this a rare exception? I don't know. Let's see. It's got blackberries, ripe blackberry on the nose, and then a graphite. Absolutely pencil lead and graphite and blackberries. Those are the two predominant flavors. I think that's what I wasn't getting yesterday. There was such an intense, maybe graphite, pencil lead type of thing going, pencil shavings, and then that blackberry now is there. So it's that combination, which is just classic Bordeaux, though. It's got that plumminess too. There's a plumminess. I think that's the Merlot. I think because this might have a big dose of Petit Verdot, which isn't used typically. It's a grape that needs a lot of ripening. They use it in small doses, typically under 5% in a Bordeaux, for a little color, a little aroma, maybe a little structure. Don't know. Yesterday, this wine had potential to be fantastic for the price point. So, it smells great. You know, it would not just, it's not screaming France to me. It would definitely confuse me, and it might be the composition, might be because it's a Merlot heavy left bank. Not used to having a Merlot heavy left bank Bordeaux. Tannins are very firm. More rustic today on the palate. A little, definitely saddle leather for sure. Blackberries are there, but it's more dominated by saddle leather. It's like an unripe dark fruit here, unripe black raspberry type of thing. It's a good wine. It's a good wine for $17. Is it an amazing wine? No, but it's a good wine. So, price point's good. This is not case worthy. I was kind of hoping it might be. It's not, at least right now. I would definitely buy a few more of these. One or two, just to have, you know, on a weekday Bordeaux with some really gritty tannin. This is it. I've got more decanting here. I'm gonna progress it through the night, and if there's anything else to mention, I absolutely will. I may even save a little for tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be meatballs though, so it's definitely gonna be some Sangio. I think that Sangio I bought from Prince of Corkscrew I'm gonna have tomorrow. Actually, definitely having that first. So, and maybe I'll have a little of this after with some cheese. Who knows? Just to see how this evolves. Maybe this pairs good with cheese. Maybe this is gonna pair really well with the short rib. That's very possible. And my leftover short rib, this could pair very nicely with it. So we'll find out. Finish is, as much as it's got a gritty big tan in it, the finish is slightly less, and it Kind of happens with a lesser expensive wine. I don't know why or how that sort of happens, but it does. Maybe just how they're pressing the grapes. Maybe the grape. How many? I'm not even sure, to be honest. I don't know enough about I know enough about vinification, but not exactly how that extends and parlays into length of wine and elegance and things like that. I know the oak treatments, malolactic, things like that, but it's got an unripe dark fruit astringency today. Just, it's good. What would I give it? Scale 3.5 out of 5. 4, 3.5 out of 5. It's fine. It's good. $17 wine. It's good. And I will buy 1 or 2 more. Probably 1 more. And maybe give it another year or 2. But by the 19, or maybe I wait for the 20, whatever. I'll keep it in the back of my mind when I go to Princeton Corkscrew. Something else that was extremely interesting at Princeton Corkscrew. I am always on the search for something new, something extravagant, something that isn't always extravagant in a expensive way, although that sometimes happens, but trying to the best of the best is always something. I talked about it with Hermitage, Louis Chave, Jean-Louis Chave making the best Syrah in the world, and Hermitage and the Northern Rhone, and of course there's arguments, but from everything I know and I read and everything and the history, that's to me best expression of Syrah in the world, and it's say $350 a bottle. Yes, Grange and Australia, I think it's Barossa, $600 something. Grange put Australia on the map. Penfolds, Grange, but Bordeaux of Southern Hemisphere, really. Sure, it's amazing. Price point's way out of my league, so even the Hermitage is way out of my league, but because Hermitage and Syrah with the Northern Rhone are one of my favorite styles for how feral and full-bodied but elegant they are, just teetering, right? Teetering. Do I buy it? Do I not? Probably have to gift it to myself one day, maybe for my 50th birthday. Besides that, at Princeton Corkscrew, I was looking for Godeo, and a few over from the Godeo was an Albarino. I haven't had an Albarino in a while. I always like having an Albarino. So it's like a salty peach type of wine to me. Light, no oak treatment typically. And it was a $20-something one. And then to the right of it was a $70 Albarino. I've never in my life seen a Albarino more than $25. So I took a picture, did some research yesterday, or today, actually today, and I found that the vines are from 1785. 200-year-old Albarino vines is what's in that glass, in that bottle. So I absolutely will be trying it. So now, I've never had anything that's been from a vineyard that was planted 200 years ago, 1785. It just seems amazing. It's a small plot. They don't make a whole heck of a lot. $70 is absolutely a huge price to pay, but could be the best Albarino I've ever had, or maybe not. I'm going to buy the other one too. I'm going to buy both, and I think I'll do the tasting together. It'd be even better to do a blind to see if I get anything very distinct from one or the other. I don't know what to expect. I'm not even sure if that very expensive one goes through any oak treatment at all, or it's just because it's from this plot of land, 200-year-old vines. Older vines, ancient vines, is absolutely falls into that ancient vine category. Produce less fruit, so they could always rip those out and add new, and then after 3 years, grapevines start producing fruit, and you produce an abundance of fruit from that till I forget what number of years, and then typically some places will pull those out and put new, just so they always have the most possible fruit they can make for their wine. And then certain places will just leave their wines, or certain vineyards, to go longer and longer and longer, but those produce less fruit and become more exclusive, more expensive. List goes on and on. So anyway, started with Bordeaux, ended up with a Spanish white from Rio Spicious. So definitely be buying that soon. Absolutely probably be pairing it with sushi. Albarino and sushi, I think, goes fantastic together. It's at that little salinity It's made on the west side of Spain, northwest of Spain, and it's great stuff. Great alternative to those Pinot Grigio drinkers. I think Albarino really lends itself really well in there. So, and it goes great with food because of that slight salinity by being close to the ocean. So. Three and a half out of 5. Reserving judgment. Still till tomorrow. See how it goes with the food. This might just be a food wine. The acidity is medium. Tannins medium plus. It's a slight astringency. It's sour black fruit. Saddle leather, pencil lead on the nose, blackberry. It's got a fresh blackberry or a ripe blackberry on the nose, but that doesn't translate as much to the palate. Not that it would be sweet, but not luscious. Absolutely older world in style. Might look newer world with the density and the color, but it tastes absolutely new world. So that's it. Going to have my dinner with this wine.